and today I will be using Altenew watercolor brush markers to color Build a Flower Japanese Mum. I heat embossed the flower on a watercolor cardstock, and I used pure white embossing powder to do this. Now I'm going to use Rubylite watercolor brush marker to add color directly on the petals. I will be adding Rubylite watercolor brush marker near the base of the petal, that is closer to the flower center. The second color I'll apply is Rouge watercolor. I'll be adding this near the Rubylite watercolor, pulling a bit of it to mix with the rouge. I will also add rouge watercolor to the underside of the petals. I will not be covering the entire petal with pigment directly. I'll use my water brush to spread this around, keeping the color a little light on the tip of the petals. Once I've colored all the petals, I'll move some of the color outside the line, so when I die cut, I don't have a stark outline. Next, I'll take the Rubylite watercolor brush marker again and add more detail, more of it to the base of the petals to add more depth. This time I'll add it as stippling. For the leaves, I'll first add pigment from a moss watercolor brush marker, and then I will spread this around with limeade watercolor brush marker. To cover the entire petal, I'll use my water brush and spread the color around. It's just like I colored the petals. I'll go back in with moss watercolor brush marker to add more depth. Okay, so this is where I mess up. I die cut the flower and my die slipped a little, cutting out a lot of the flower from the left and leaving a lot of extra space on the right. I was so bummed and determined to use it anyway. So first I got rid of the excess area from the right side by fussy cutting it, and then thought of another layout. But first I'll make my card front. I thought I'd add a little color wash to my card front, and for that I used a diluted wash of Lagoon watercolor brush marker. And then I added limeade watercolor to the mix. I also picked up color with the help of a tissue paper so that it is not as vibrant and a little muted. I want to keep this as light as possible. After drying this with my heat gun, I'll add fine black paint splatters and wait for them to dry. Now I'll assemble my floral images. I heat embossed a sentiment on this label kind of tab so that I can hide the cut off part from the die cut flower underneath it. I really didn't want to color another flower, and there's almost always a workaround such accidents. Yes, it's not the card I wanted to make, but this works too. It shows that you can use you can make use of the elements that are not stamped or cut correctly by changing the layout. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.